I asked some of my over 50 male friends what they wanted for Valentine's Day, which I thought would be a really fun, easy thing, but it ended up to be very interesting. I'll talk more about that in the internet research I did at the end of this video, and I'll put it in the description if you're interested. Also, this video is chaptered, so you can skip around as you want, but I came up with some things that I think your man would love for Valentine's Day. Most of the men that I asked said that they wanted a card with something handwritten in it or a handwritten note. The handwritten part was really important to them. They wanted to really know that it came from the heart, that you were thinking of them, that it was sincere and special just for them. They want to feel appreciated and they want to feel acknowledged. What I read was that men over 50, they can appreciate your intelligence and your independence, but they still want to be your hero. They want to feel like they've contributed to your well-being in some way. You could include maybe your 5 favorite things about him, or something in there about how he's made your life better, or how you would choose him all over again. It's a little surprising, but I think that men want that sentiment too, just like we do. A nice dinner. That came up quite a bit in the men that I asked. A nice dinner, some time with them, something that's kind of special. Or if your partner usually makes all the dinner plans, maybe you could make the dinner plans. You set it all up and tell them they don't need to worry about anything. This is just what they need to wear, and you're going to go out to dinner. And incidentally, I don't think it has to be on Valentine's Day, because sometimes Valentine's Day, we avoid the restaurants on Valentine's Day. I don't get too hung up on that it has to be immediately on that day. It could be the next day or the day before. But anyway, a nice dinner, or maybe you make him a nice dinner. Something I did for my husband for his birthday, and it went over so well. I mean, I was so surprised. I never know what to get him, but I made him one of his favorite childhood dishes and the pie that his mom used to make for him for his birthday. And he loved it. He told all his friends about it. So I think something that is from the heart, something that's special to them. Maybe it's food that's similar to an event that you guys went to that was really special to you, or a really great trip. Maybe you went overseas, maybe you went to Italy or wherever it was, and you make a dish and say a little something, maybe on a little place card or something, remembering our trip together. I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else but you. I love you, honey. You get the idea, something like that. Spending some quality time together. Some of us over 50 have been with our partners for a long time, and we get into our routines and we live in our little bubbles, and my husband and I are certainly no exception to that. But maybe for Valentine's Day or around Valentine's Day, you could go out and do something different, kind of break out of the bubble. Maybe it's wine tasting, or maybe you go pear picking. Who knows, whatever it is that you two might enjoy together. It could simply be a movie. I think that's a great Valentine's Day celebration. But if you get out of your bubble a little bit and spend some time together, you'll have something to talk about. And again, with that whole sentiment that they're still special to you. Or maybe you've been spending a lot of time together, and giving him some alone time with a special treat would be what he would really enjoy. You could get him a 6-pack of his favorite beer and his favorite snack and say, go ahead and binge watch your favorite shows. I'll be back in 4 hours, or something like that, with but say it really cute in a card. My husband would actually really love that, I think. Or maybe he's a sports fan, and what he really loves is to just have the guys over and they can just be themselves and, eat unhealthy foods and that kind of thing. Well, you could make a voucher, say something sweet on there. That handwritten component seemed to be a big deal. Maybe about how, for everything you've done for me, here's a voucher for, a full day of football. I will supply the chicken wings, the nachos, or whatever it is that he really loves. The secret sauce to all of these ideas is to make it special and make it feel really custom for him, and that you're thinking of him and really appreciating him. All right, so what about sex? Well, none of the guys that I asked came directly out and said that, and that just could be, because I'm their friend and I'm a woman. It was alluded to a couple of times, or that if I was 40, I would say something different, right? But then they went on to say that they just wanted to spend some quality time, with their sweetie, which was very, it was sweet and sentimental. But my favorite answer, and I love that it kind of brings up this idea of sexuality, was to go for a hike to a lake or a pond and go skinny dipping. And I loved that example. Our sexuality doesn't have to be what it was when we were in our 20s, 30s, and 40s. There's a whole world out there, and not that I'm an expert. I'm not saying I am, but I'm interested in it now. I'm 60, my husband's 73, so, I'm asking these questions too. And certainly, I'm sure any man would love it if all of a sudden you showed up in your lingerie or naked under a trench coat. I mean, I think that they would. But there are other intimate ways you could spend time together. Certainly, literally, absolutely, Well, I think that's a great Valentine's Day celebration. But it could be something different, like skinny dipping or maybe a couples massage. What else? I wrote some notes. Hold on. Oh, did anybody watch the Golden Bachelor wedding? Anybody watch the Golden Bachelor? Let me know in the comments below. We did. We loved it. But during the Golden Bachelor wedding, all the ladies, they got a boudoir picture done. I don't know if you saw that, but it was really cool. You could have a boudoir picture done of yourself and give it to your man. I think it's a great idea, and I kind of want to do it. I think it's a good way for us women over 50 to reconnect with our beauty and come to grips with we're still beautiful even though we're older. So I think that's something sexy. Heck yeah, I think he would love that. But this is going to look different for every couple. And just because things aren't the way they used to be doesn't mean that there isn't something fun you can do now. Of course, you could purchase something thoughtful too. As I was doing the internet research, what does a man want, a man over 50 want for Valentine's Day? Of course, it ended up being a bunch of ads, which I don't really want this to be about, but I did see a few things that I thought were kind of cool and made me think that there's a couple things that my husband have that he loves that I could suggest. First, I'll start with the things that he has. One is this little smoker, and you use it to smoke a Manhattan or other bourbon or whiskey kind of drinks. And there's different kinds of wood chips that you can get. This one is very small and portable. There are several on on Amazon or in cigar stores. You can find this kind of thing for men, maybe liquor stores as well. But this one, what I love is that it's really small and portable. You do need some kind of torchy kind of deal to light it with. So some of the kits had that. This one didn't, but my husband owned his own. But anyway, they make these beautiful drinks. He brings this to parties and makes drinks for anybody who wants one, and he just has the best time with it. All right, if your husband smokes cigars, this cigar torch is something that my husband just loves. I'm almost scared of it. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it's a torch. Anyway, he loves this thing. If your man smokes cigars and doesn't have one of these, he just might love it. This was purchased at a cigar store, a local cigar store, but I'll see if I can find any on the internet that seem like they would be good. The rest of these things I don't really have experience with, but they popped up during the search. So one was a wallet. My husband just was on the market for a wallet, which is probably why I really noticed this, but these looked really good. They looked small, they're compact, they have that, whatever that device is so that people can't scan your cards through your wallet. They looked like something that he was looking for, so maybe your man would like them too. These flashlight gloves looked kind of cool. A couple of the reviews said that they were a little hard to get used to, but then that they really loved them. So I know that lots of our men are very handy and they like to make things. So this, or maybe even a headlamp if he doesn't already have one. I noticed that a lot of men use these. I noticed these heated vests. Maybe there's some outdoorsmen out there who live in a cold climate and they would like this. And there were lots of other things like customized hats, anything custom that you get engraved, I think would be really nice too, because it's so personal. Okay, so I thought this was really interesting and I wanted to tell you and include it in this video in case you think that it's interesting too. So when I set out to do this, I thought, oh, this will be fun and this will be kind of like an easy question for men and I can make a cute little video about it. But when I asked the men that I knew what they wanted for Valentine's Day, it like stumped them. It was so crazy. Like they would stop and kind of think about it and look confused. And then a few of them, a number of them, almost half, started to tell me what their wife or girlfriend would like for Valentine's Day. And I had to say more than once in some cases, no, what do you want for Valentine's Day? So it was a very, they had to switch this around to themselves. So I guess we've trained men that it's, all that they have to do this for Valentine's Day. So that was very interesting. And then I mostly got these very sincere responses that they wanted something handmade, very sentimental, something that made them feel appreciated, which I know I already said that in the beginning of the video, but it was a little more sentimental than I thought it was going to be. I think if you can incorporate something really meaningful into anything that you give him for Valentine's Day, including a card or even just a little handwritten note, I think that that would really be appreciated. I hope this video was helpful and gave you a little inspiration. I know I always struggle to figure out what to get for my husband because he really has everything that he wants or needs. He just goes and buys it himself. So this was very fun for me to put together too. And leave me any comments below if you have any great ideas. That would be great. I'm sure everyone would love to read them. Thank you again and have a lovely day.